please don't forget who God is just because bad things are happening to you. We as Christians sometimes have a bad habit of forgetting who God is and his character just because bad things are happening to us. The moment that a trial, a tribulation, or a piece of suffering comes our way, all of a sudden we forget that God is faithful. We forget that God loves us. We forget that God is gracious and merciful and just. We forget that God is holy and righteous, and we forget also that he's sovereign. But we mustn't allow suffering and trials and tribulations to make us forget who our God is. Because when we allow those things to happen, we walk right into the enemy's trap. Because all of a sudden when he begins to whisper things like God has abandoned you, we are much more susceptible to it. Or when he whispers things like God is not going to deliver you or God doesn't love you, we're also more susceptible to that as well. But through thick and thin, through hell and high water, we should always remember the faithfulness and immutability of God. God does not change, and the same God that was with you in the good times is also the same God that's with you in the bad times. Do not forget who God is. Do not forget God's character just because bad things are happening to you. We are going to go through suffering. We are going to go through trials and tribulations, but guess what? God is going to be with you through thick and thin. Remember this the next time you're going through a hard time, you're starting to get into that slump. You're starting to say things, oh, maybe God has forgotten me, he's abandoned me, maybe his promises aren't for real, maybe he doesn't love me, and all these different things. And remind yourself that, you know what, God doesn't change just because my situation has. And that who he is hasn't changed, and that he always fulfills his word and his promises. So I hope that this gave somebody a bit of a wake-up call, but also encourage those who need to be encouraged. If you want more content like this, just go and drop a sub or follow.